Okay, I think YouTube is figuring out that we want to go live right now. And we should be live. Okay, nice. Welcome to another Advent of Code stream. Something that I wanted to do before I started is because I keep copying a day. Luke suggested yesterday that, hey, why don't you make a code snippet? And I figured, well, I remember making one like 4 years ago. let's actually just do that. From what I remember, it's not that hard, so I think I'll just give it a shot and just do it with some people watching. Why not? So we have a day snippet here. So I'll just do create a new Advent of Code day class. This would be testers. Should probably make this shorter and do this AOC day. This one can become day. And we probably also need to specify some things about needing input there. Open the snippet manager, select a code snippet, the right page. Sure. Replacement parameters. This is what we want. Okay. So here is the code part. Let's see. I'll just snippet declaration. Notice the literal placing an ID number. Enter number you want to scan root of. Okay. Importing namespace. Let me see. Okay, so this is the full thing here. We just put the header file here. Boom. And this one needs to become the full class 0 here. Like this. For exists is that. Let me see. Isn't there normally, let's see, enter the number, declarations, literal. Okay, sure. Let's also do that. Code. The imports, I can set them up separately. Hey SmapTK, good morning. Thanks for joining me. I'm just making a quick code snippet for my day class to see if that works. Let's see, enter the day you want. I'm actually not sure if this works because this dumps out so much code. I wonder if it, I would need something else. I probably need a different kind of add-on. So let's just shelve this for now. Just because I just realized like this will insert a bunch of code, so I could probably have it generate this, but to have the whole class and the namespace, the imports, you can put them here. I'm not sure if it would work if I go to a blank page and then do day. So I probably want to make a little button here that says just create new day, or maybe here even have a template type and then have an input. SnapUK says, I've built myself a .NET new install item for my day class in the last couple of days. Still a work in progress. Yeah, I'll do something else for this, I think. What I think is you can do, like if you add new item, there is also a way to just have something like this. So I can probably have like a shortcut for like 2 combinations of letters. Then you get a prompt for enter the day and then it will generate the file. I think I'll look into doing that, but probably not right now. I think for now I should probably just go read the challenge and start coding. So let me see. Day 5, print queue. Satisfied with their search on Ceres, the squadron of scholars suggests subsequently scanning the stationary stacks of sub-basement 17. That's a lot of S's. Thank you. The North Pole printing department is busier than ever this close to Christmas, and while the historians continue their search of this historically significant facility, an elf operating a very familiar printer beckons you over. The elf must recognize you because they waste no time explaining that the new sleigh launch safety manual update won't print correctly. Failure to update the safety manuals would be dire indeed, so you offered your service. Safety protocols clearly indicate that new pages for the safety manuals must be printed in a very specific order. The notation XY means that if both page number X and page number Y are to be produced as part of an update, page number X must be printed at some point before page number Y. The elf has both the page ordering rules and the pages to produce in each update, your puzzle input, but can't figure out whether each update has the pages in the right order. Okay, for example, so these are the sequence rules, right? One per line. Okay, let's see. The first section specifies the page ordering rules, one per line. The first rule means that if an update includes both page 47 and 53, that page number 47 must be printed at some point before page 53. 57 doesn't necessarily need to be immediately before 53. Other pages are allowed to be in between them. The second section specifies the page numbers of each update. Because most safety manuals are different, the pages needed in their updates are different too. The first update, 75, 47, 61, 53, 29, means that the update consists of those page numbers. To get the printers going as soon as possible, start by identifying which updates are already in the right order. In the above example, the first update is in the right order. Sure. So these are all the rules, and it traces, sure. It's correctly in the middle because, sure. It's correctly forced because it's before that. Only page last, so it's the correct last. Sure. Sure, okay. Because the first update does not include some page numbers, the ordering rules involving those missing page numbers are ignored. Okay. Some parts are not clicking yet, but I'll figure it out later. The second and third updates are also in the correct order according to the rule. Like the first update, they also do not include every page number, so only some of the ordering rules apply. Within each update, the ordering rules that involve missing page numbers are not used. The fourth update, which is not in the correct order, it would print 75 before 97, which violates the rule. Okay. The fifth update is also not in the correct order since it breaks the rule blah. Okay. The last update is not in the correct order due to breaking several rules. Okay. For some reason, the elves also need to know the middle page number of each update being printed. Because you are currently only printing the correctly ordered pages, ordered update, you will need to find the middle page number of each correctly ordered update. In the above example, the correctly ordered updates are, sure. These have middle page numbers of 61, okay. Adding these pages together would give that. Okay, so this is the first answer. Let's do that. Of course, you need to be careful. The actual list of page ordering rules is bigger and more complicated than the above example. Determine which updates are already in the correct order. What do you get if you add up the middle page number for those correctly ordered updates? Okay. So I have some ideas, but it's not fully formed yet. So let's just start by adding the answer for part 1 and also taking the test input here. And let's work on parsing first. My first ideas were basically to make sure that these are basically this is a dictionary, but it looks up two ways, so you need to also be able to check this to make sure You need a compound key for these probably. Then you need to filter out every one of these that don't have a double match. So you take all of these IDs and you make sure that for each one of these, both values exist in the list that you're going to check. Otherwise, you don't need to check them. And then you can basically check every individual item. Let me think. Something tells me that you could go like for each one and keep track of the ones that you've seen. And then you look up this number in this list to make sure that there, you probably need to index it based on first and last. So when you check this number, you check whether there is a rule that precedes it. And if so, you check that against the numbers that you have seen, something like that. And then you can always just move forwards, only looking backwards. And then you probably need to do it from the other side as well. So you take one pass going this way, where you only look at the back rules, and then you do it in reverse, looking the other way. And that would check both things, I think. I think that would be the solution for part 1. Let's just get to parsing first. I think that is a strategy. So we need to do input.split by, and this would be double new line. That's a good one because I want to actually just split by the double. I wonder if I made something for that. I should probably just do it like this and make sure that I just do replace environment.newline, comma, like this, just to make sure that I sanitize the input to be Unix only, because this one will have carriage returns in them if I run this on Windows. So this would give us 2 parts. This will be the values, so we can do x.split based on, sorry, these as int 32s as this one becomes left. This would make it into a pair. So this will probably become, and I wonder if I should make this neater, but parsed. So what we want to end up with is a list of int left, int right, rules, and then rules, and then we have a list of int pages, page sets basically. So if we do it like this, this would be the first part. And this is the downside of my as, because it gets really messy, right? So we have this first part here, and then I need to do another one, which basically does x dot 2 lines, as int, and then we do select x, no y, because I did as int 32s. But they also need to be split first. Split, comma, like this. And then I need to do a dot to list on this, and I think that would make the type correctly, right? Because this one returns oh, no, I need to do 2 lines. Select x, actually y dot split y. Parsing it in one thing is probably annoying. Okay, I should probably not do this, because as you can see, I'm getting lost by myself. Okay, so first, let's split it into 2 parts. Parts is this. Right, then we have parts, well, I can do this as 2 lines. Let's just not do it the whole big thing, except 2 lines. Okay, so we have string rules. This is a list, actually, list of string rules and a list of string. And these are the parts. Hey Nineberry, SmapUK says, I enjoyed today, and Nineberry says, hi, I also like this puzzle. Nice. I'm just trying to figure out my list of char. 2 lines. I'm calling the wrong method here. So unless I'm mistaken, to erase to, okay. My lines function gives me an array of string instead of a list of string. It's been a while, I'm sorry. Okay, so this one separates it into 2 parts, the rules and the parts. And then basically I do parts.rules dot select split. And 32s. This basically comes as x like this, and then we can do this becomes a we can do to list on this. This will give us a list of int first, before, int after, like this. These are the rules parsed, and then we have parts dot how do you call the second? I named these. This should be the page sets. Page sets dot select as in 32s. Page sets this. So this would give us. I should probably okay to list. A list of int. So that is fine, and I can do the new notation, except I need to do list int to do this notation, right? I should probably also do this here. Get used to having the new way of coding. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. So let me make this available to the rest of the code here. Like this. So now we have the rules and the page sets available in both sections. Okay, sorry for that. I mean, every time I struggle with this, it reminds me that I should make a better thing here, because I can create this whole monster that converts it into types, but it doesn't become really readable. So I should probably do something different. Next stage would be that we want to have a dictionary of int. We call this forward rules equals rules dot select, probably just to dictionary x. Oh, come on. X dot before, like this. And we also do backwards rules. You know, we reverse these after before. The only issue is this might not be a unique list, because as you can see here, there's multiple. So that is fine. So I need to do a group by actually. So we do rules dot group by x dot before. Key to actually you can do a new hash set, new hash set int boom x dot. Can it accept that? Probably not. To array. Like this, right? Oh no, it can take it like this. I just need to make sure that this becomes a hashed set of int. Okay. Something tells me that I probably need to reconstruct some path here, but I think it will be fine. We do the same for the reverse rules. So we do the after, and then I just noticed that part of the code is behind my face. Feel free to scream at me if something like that happens. And then we do before. So we also have these. And now we can just do this. Now we have all the rules programmed. So what we should do now is for each bar page set in page sets, process forwards then backwards. Bool valid is true. If valid, p1 plus equals page set, and this one becomes length count divided by 2. Is that correct? I think so, because it will truncate the last one. I will have to verify this, but I think this one gives us the middle index. Because if length is 3, it will divide by 2, giving us 1, so that will be the middle one, etc. So yeah, that's fine. So now we do for int I is 0. Last is page set dot count minus 1. I smaller than last, because we don't want to actually check the last one. And basically what we need to do is if oh yeah, we also still need to qualify these. So we need to have a hash set int pages in set. This new block. So we do pages in set of clear. Then we do is this the most efficient? Maybe I'm always try to do things efficiently, but I probably just do a new one every time. Here is new blah and then page set. Page set. So now I need to filter all the rules. Ah, that's a good one. I forgot about that. Because basically these rules here, I try to make them unique, but only the ones that fully match should apply. So I should probably do this locally actually, and rebuild them every time. So let me first qualify the rules. So now we do rules.where x pages in set contains x dot before and pages in set contains after. So these are all the rules that we need. So we do list. How did I define the rules? Should probably make a record for that, right? Should we just do it right away? Record rule int before and after. Like this. And now this becomes less nice because we do it's annoying because there's no clear way for me to go from one to another based on this. So let's not do it here actually, and just do it for the local thing that we do here. So we do a list of valid rules. New blah. We don't need to do that. We can just do now we do select new rule x of before, x of after, like this. So we do valid rules equals this. And now we need to actually do this here. Smap says you can use angle brackets for a list. I'm missing a bit of context where you mean. Feel free to add more info. So basically we do this now, and we do it based on valid rules. So now we quantify these and make sure that we only process the rules that are valid. So now we can do forward rules dot try get value. So let's also do int val page in this case. So we can do page equals page set I, page out forward rules. Actually, we need to do the backwards rules first. We go forward, but we want the backwards rules. So we do backwards rules. Try to rules. Rule. If this is the case, we need to validate this. Instead of a list rule equals that new rule, you can use, let's see, oh yeah, I don't new it here actually because it gets set here, so I didn't need to new it at all. But you mean that you can do equals this? Sure, as an alias for this. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. So now we check forward rule. We also need to keep track of which ones we've seen. So we do also do a seen. This new. Can I also do this now? Okay. So now I need to do for each var required in rule. If not seen contains required, valid is false, break. Right, and here we do if not valid, break. And now we exit out of all our loops. Bum, 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 bum. We do the same here for the forward rules. Actually, we need to go in the different direction here. So now we can do if valid. If valid, we process the second part in reverse. Boom, 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 boom. We also need to make sure that we do scene.add page. Here we do scene.clear, and we do the same logic here. Only we need to do this in reversed. So we do forward rules. So we can do a page count with this. Let me just do that here. And command page count like this. We start at page count -1. We don't need to do this. I is larger than 0. And then we decrement. Just need to make sure that I check for myself. Yeah, I think this is the correct way to start from the last and don't do the first one. I think this should be it. Let me see. Amartya says, hi all, just joined, how is it going? I think it's going okay. I'm about to test what I made. I'm not as confident as yesterday, but I think it should be fine. Basically, my train of thought was, okay, we have the rules, we have the pages. What we need to do is, for every set that we process, we make sure that we take all these numbers and then only take the rules that contain both numbers. Otherwise, we can just ignore them. And then you go from left to right, tracking which ones you've seen. So from this one, we haven't seen any. So actually, we can skip. So if you go to the right, we should actually skip the first one and then just make sure that we track that one and make sure that if there's a rule here that says, okay, there should be, let me see here, 97 should come in front of it, that if we, that we make sure that it happens like that. No, what I do actually is to make sure that I check, am I doing this correctly? Let me try, let me reason about it again. Moving to the right, I check all the backwards rules to make sure that I only move forward if I satisfy all the rules for the stuff that comes behind it. So it makes no sense to skip the first, to skip the last one. I actually need to check skip the first one and not check the last one. So it's good that you asked the question, so now I can doubt myself to make sure that I do it properly. And in this case, scene needs to hold the first value here. Scene.add page set 0. Right? Need to make sure that the first one doesn't have to look back because there can't be any rules for it. It's fine. Or is it? Because here it said the last one didn't need to be checked because it was last. Let me check. Here it says 29 is the only page left and so is correctly last. But if I look for 29, there is a rule that says that 13 must come after it, but it doesn't matter in this case. So, okay, I reasoned about it correctly. So it doesn't matter if it's first or last, like that, it doesn't matter. At least I think so. So the rule, the basic logic is we check this one and make sure that if there's a rule like this, like for 47 it says 97 needs to be in front of it. So this one is invalid because this one isn't in front of it. Oh no, but this is not part of the set, so this will have been filtered out, so that is correct. But theoretically it will have seen this one. If there is a rule that matches, it will make sure that this one is there. So yeah, this is valid, and now I need to change this one to make sure this one goes from -2 larger or equal 0. And I also need to do scene.add page set like this. But we need to add page count -1, right? So I think this should be the logic. So let's just run it and see what happens. Boom! Input string was not in the correct format. A comma. I didn't do a split somewhere. Let me see. Here. Like this, I think. Okay. 143. So all my logic seems to be correct so far. Cool, let's run the real input. Always surprised if everything works in one go. Let me see, 7024. Woohoo! I thought about it in a correct way. Nice. I'm always surprised at the end when I look at Reddit threads to see if other people had the same train of thought solving this. But yeah, I think I came up with an okay way. Mate says, nice, you're already ahead of me. Okay. Did some of you solve it in a similar manner as me? Or did you take a different approach? I will read part 2 in a bit. Because for me, I felt like this was the natural way to do it. My part 1 works for test, but not for live. Ah, that's sad. If you get stuck or you want me to validate what I have had in the past when I get stuck on something where I think like, okay, what am I missing? Sometimes knowing where the error is, so you can debug that case can help. So if you want, I can later rewrite this to just run an input and spit out the correct and incorrect cases so that you can validate which ones you're not picking up. But yeah, we can do that later if you want. So yeah, I can do away with this. Let me also put in the actual value. Answer P1. Boom. So that I have it tracked. Let's see what part 2 holds in store. While the elves get to work printing the correctly ordered updates, you have a little time to fix the rest of them. For each of the incorrectly ordered updates, use the page ordering rules to put the page numbers in the right order. For the above example, here are the 3 incorrectly ordered updates and their correct orderings. Let's see. Oh, that's interesting. That is fun. Let's see. Amartis says, Nineberry says, I also took a naive approach in parallel. Hextree is doing stuff with graphs, but seen a little bit over the top for day 5. Okay. Amartis says, I just figured out I'll get index of rule X and rule Y for each set. And then if any index is -1 or I smaller than 2, the rule is okay, but it doesn't work. Okay. And then I have to go to work, so we'll try in the evening. Okay. Oh, good luck. So here you see the changes that they made. So in this case, after taking only the incorrectly ordered updates and ordering them correctly, their middle pages. Okay. So let me see. When you look at this, the 2 that change are this one and this one. I'm watching Hextree as well, and I also know nothing about DAG graphs, so yeah. The fun thing is, like, if you start with this, I'm just trying to figure out if there are multiple ways to do the switching, right? Or if it's constrained in such a way that you can only, if you satisfy all the rules, end up with one ordering. So that's basically my thought, because what I would then do is, if it fails, I would go through all the rules, check out each pair, and make sure that they are ordered, and if they're not, just swap them, and then keep doing that until it works. But you might have to, you have multiple dependencies. So like the naive approach, I think, would be for part 2, if you take this whole thing, if it's not valid, and I should probably use this one, so I can do hash set int invalid indices is bloop. So I can do part 1 and else invalid indices dot add, and this one becomes okay. So this one becomes for int index is 0, smaller than page, page sets count. Page sets count, increment index, and we do page set equals page sets, page sets ix, like this. What was the type of this again? Boom. No. Okay, just a list of int. Like this. And then we can do at ix. So that is fine. So here we do for each int bad index in indices var data is page sets ix. So this is the one that we're targeting, bad indexing in this case. I probably don't want to reprocess that again, so let's SmampUK says, I like my solution, but I'm not convinced it is the most efficient. Okay, looking forward to reading it later. So I'll make a dictionary of int, followed by, we do a list of valid rules. And then we also just make sure that we do this. And this one becomes set context. All right. So now what we can do here is like this. We can do set context of add, no, dot add. We do index, and then we have valid rules, forward rules, backward rules. And now we have a full context that we saved up, so we don't have to do this a second time here in part 2. So we do var context is set context bad index. So we have all of that stuff saved. Now we probably just go through all the rules. We only need to do it once. For each rule in context rules, valid rules. I actually don't even need those other two, but it's fine. Let's see. I had those exact same before after dictionaries in my solution, and then I remembered something I learned about yesterday and refactored. Got rid of a lot of code. Nice. It runs within the blink of an eye. That's efficient enough for me. Yeah, I was actually, maybe this is, it can be a bit hard to understand for you, I think, but let me show you something that you might like for the more hardcore people. There is a Dutch forum and website called Gathering of Tweakers, for tweakers.net. And there is a guy called Soultaker who always does hardened challenges. So he takes some of the Advent of Code stuff and then like blows up the input to make it harder. So like in this case, he made like a 4 megabyte day 4 challenge. He posts the last 3 numbers of the answer with a benchmark. So sometimes I like to test that as well. His code ran in 3.5 seconds. So I just plugged in my code without optimizing further, and it ran in half a second. So I was happy with that. But he also did a lot of pre-challenges, and yeah. Usually it's fun, and they have like hardened or more difficult tasks for code that is less optimized. So it really gives you another set of challenges on top of Advent of Code. So if you like it, browse through the forum. It's in Dutch, but with Google Translate you can probably make out a lot of it. SmampUK says about 20 milliseconds combined for me, good enough. Yeah, anything under a second is basically, anything under 5 seconds is in general is pretty fine. So yeah, I think my approach will be to just swap the indices. So let me see, int a ixb. So we do ix_a is data index of rule.before. ixb is data index of rule after. If ix_a larger ixb, wrong, swap them. Right. And we also do bool valid. Valid is true. Do while not valid. And let's also add some sanity here. Sanity loop count. Max loops is let's say 1,000. While not valid, and increase loop count smaller than max loops. If loop count larger equals max loops, console.writeLine went over budget for index. Okay, something like this. We do loop count is 0, like this. Then we do this. And actually we do valid is true. Valid is false. So now we need to make sure that we process it again to make sure that everything is satisfied. SnappyK says I have a 1 second limit before my console app which has timings and it marks it as right. Okay. Yeah, I have actually time limit here that you can set. I haven't used it this year, but I think I have it. This was my general solution, so you can just do var tl is new time limit, and then I think it has no references, so you can just drop this in your code, and it will just throw an error if it passes it. So I could probably also do that, but in this case it will tell me exactly the place where it is, so that's fine. Yes. So we're no longer valid, and now I need to int temp is data ixb. Come on. Data ixb is data ixa. Oh, actually I don't need that because I have the values in the rule before, so I can just do data ixa equals rule.after. Wait. No. Yes, data ixb is rule.before. Right, we check before and after, so this one should be lower than this one, but if it isn't, make sure that the lowest one, the one that's, wait. Yeah, you swap that, because you want to make sure that it's a bit of mindfuckery, but it should work. The way to do times with stopwatch has changed since you last used it. Best approach is to use static methods. Okay, feel free to link it in the Discord. I can read up on it. So I think this should be it, but I'll probably step through this just because I want to see how it works. And let's go back to the test input as well. And test part 2 is this, and then we also still need to have the okay, else we do p2 plus equals basically this, right? Yeah. This data. Okay. Let's see. I think this should be it, but let's. Okay, so this one is already incorrect. So it says 74 needs to be 417. I wonder if I should just do one and then start over again. Keep doing it. Or that I do multiple. How many valid rules are? What? Damn! Did I swap it back to... Wait. Oh, test is false. I need to set test is true. Okay, never mind. Let me just run it once to see if it comes up with the same answer or not. Okay, it works. I should probably just run the actual input now, since the logic works. There's no reason to step through it. Sometimes it's just a bit hard to trust your own gut when everything works. All the logic works the first time. So, woohoo! Second gold star as well. Okay, so far, knock on wood, it has been going pretty smooth. And even though I wasn't as sure of my solution today, it's nice to see that it works right away, basically. So at least the old noggin comes up with a good solution every time. Thank you for the congratulations. Yeah, this is probably a bit naive, because when I was stepping through it, I was like, okay, if I swap the indices, should I just abort and go again? But that is suboptimal, right? Because you can fix all the other stuff. Right, because it checks the indices here every time. So even after the swap, it doesn't matter. So I think it's just... you can just check out the get timestamp method. Okay. Get timestamp. Nope. Let's see. Get timestamp. No, PAP. Why am I? Okay, let's see. Along interval event to the tick count value of the underlying timer mechanism. The following example illustrates using get timestamp to update a performance. Okay. PC then, okay, what the hell is PC here? Performance counter. Okay, let's see, initialize it raw. Next sample, okay. Yeah, I found it. I did a quick Google. But in this case, you would have to also introduce the performance counter. But you could probably just do get timestamp and just use that twice. I don't even remember. I don't even remember how this worked because it needs to check. Well, it doesn't matter. I think I remember doing it in a using block or something, but yeah, the sample is overcomplicated, I think, yeah. Because basically if you want to do this with a hard limit that throws, you probably also, let me just, it should probably have like a thread that runs in a loop that checks. But yeah. That's fine. You can just do throw when reached in the inside. You could probably call throw when reached in a loop. but you also pass strings around, so you affect performance there. It's easier to keep it as is then, yeah. But basically having a static function to just take a snapshot, get timestamp, sure, it's all fine. It's been so long ago. Like when coding in Unity, I did something more efficient to have like performance timing and FPS counters, and I don't remember fully. Should probably dive back into that. I used to really enjoy coding Unity stuff, but there's so little time to do stuff. So yeah. Let's see. Did anybody post something to the Discord? Yes. AOC solution for day 5. Let's check 9 berries. Ordering rules. Take while. That's fun. So that's basically a neater approach to split by double new line. Yeah. And then you do a select on that to parse it. Yeah. My solution is similar to yours, but I think uses 1 pass. Okay. I'm not sure how many passes I could actually write this out. Let's see. List int pass count is boom. We can do for each it's in pass count group by group by x sure order by descending. X dot key, x dot value. So if I run this now, oh wow. Let me see. So 3 passes, 4 passes, 5 passes, and 2 passes. So I wonder what you did to only need 1 pass. There is 0 1 passes here, so I must have done something different than you then. Let's go back to the code stuff. See, I got nerd sniped there. Let's see, this is basically the input parsing, which is a lot cleaner than what I did. I really should think about how to do it cleaner. Because basically when you look at the input, when you look at this, basically you describe it as, okay, there are 2 sections, and I don't know why I do this because the example input is much cleaner. It's 2 sections divided by double new line, where the first part is separated by pipe and the second by comma. Like if you codify that, it would be so neat. Like pair separated by, and then you parse it in a nice way. I should probably write some helpers for that so that I don't fumble about constantly with the with the parsing with my ass stuff. Let's see. Part 1. Return safety manual updates where follows rules, ordering rules. Okay. Let's see, ordering rule, yeah. Follows rule, I need to check that part. Safety manual updates. Takes a copy of the pages. Okay. Do you manipulate the pages here? Ah, that's probably for part 2 then. Let's see, indexes of pages. Ah, okay. Let's see, I saw the indices of the pages in the manual in the dictionary for faster access, yes. So you qualify them, and if they don't match, like this, the whole valid rule part, which is fine. Create with correct order. Why is this ordered though? Pages that ordering rules. Ah, okay, you just have like a custom sorter. Okay. Sure. In my mind, I was like, okay, I don't know what I break if I just, if I would do that. I wonder if there could be an input where this breaks. Like if there's no specificity. Yeah, that's a word. But basically you just have a sorting rule that just compares them, and then, yeah. Clean. Let's see. Snap. It take while. And here you just do it based on the parsed rules. Einberry used a take while, right? Take while and then skip while. Yeah. But basically this saves up some processing because you don't have to actually check the contents, and then you can just skip over the lines that you already processed. So it's a little optimization here. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see, before. What is the to lookup? Let's see, my ordering rules class implements iCompare, so I can have the runtime do the sorting. The input is easy because by the rule there is rules for every pair of pages that appear. Ah, okay. Lookup is for better than this. Okay. How does I actually don't know the to lookup. What does this do? Okay, it's basically a lighter dictionary. Yeah, okay. So it does basically what I did with the group by and then the subselect. Okay. I should, so basically I could do, let's go back to the code here. This building here. So I could do valid rules to lookup like the before. Let's see, I have to look into that. I haven't used it before. Yeah, me neither. It was a dictionary when I solved it originally in my code. So this will be, so if I now do L, and this will have an IEnumerable as int. Okay, that's cool. Can I specify that I want this as a hash set? Could I just do dictionary int hash set int, and then it's nice for me? No. I can do then to dictionary actually. To dictionary. Come on, x of key, x of value. Oh. I can do new hash set int like this. Oh. So I could do this, and now I have my dictionary, right? It's a sign for efficient checks against. Okay. So yeah, because I want to have it in that format, so I could do it this way. Oh, where you basically transform this part. So it would be nice if there was like a way that you could. In the end, this is shorter, probably faster, but the point is it replaces the dictionary. Okay. Well, where you don't need, where you can just use the IEnumerable in the end. It's nice. It's something to remember. It behaves like the key hash set you have already. Not exactly, because it's just an IEnumerable of int. So pretty sure if you do contains on that, it will be far from optimal. Yeah, I'll check it later. Let's see. Solution 1, page sets. Where page sets obeys the rules. Sure. Okay. So you could have saved the rules from before. Boom, boom, boom. Fix page ordering before. Okay, let me just say obeys the rules. Just inspect. Yeah. Oh wow. This is a bit heavy, but it's a way. Because basically this takes the rules for the stuff that it needs to see, and then it just takes everything before the current part. So you create new sets and then make sure that they, yeah, I mean that works. So make sure none of the before pages appear. Yeah, I understand, but okay, the opposite there. Make sure none of the before pages appear in the sublist after. Yeah, sure. But still, like memory-wise, this creates a lot of overhead, right? I mean, it doesn't matter for this, but I think if you would run one of the hardened inputs, you might run into some issues because it does a lot of copying and checks here. It will probably still be fine though. Fixed page ordering. Let's see what you do here. Let's see. What is after again here? This is the... What does this do? Let's see. You have a page number. You check all the rules for after. You build a list of everything that should come after the current thing. What is new page set? Okay, that's empty. Let's see. This map says works out a list of all the indices of the items needed to be after and before the current page number. I'm just having a hard time reading. Because this one, like the first time, this will result into nothing. So let's say if you have for this one, okay, let's see. Not this code. So this one would select 29, 53, 47, 61, and 13, right? But this would all return -1 because there's nothing in here yet. So this would give you like 5 times of 5 times -1 for the first thing. I'm trying to understand what's happening here because, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but for this example, if it would take 75, then it would take all those rules. Well, 29 is a valid rule, 53 is a valid rule, 47 is a valid rule, and the 61, the 13 not. So it would give you those 4 numbers. Then it would do an index lookup against this new page set, which is empty because it hasn't been added yet. So this one gives you 4 times -1, and then it would do what is index found? Okay, so this would then select 4 times -1, and it would then negate them, so then this one would be empty, right? See, it's checking against a new page set, which is the list I'm currently building up, not the original list. So yeah. So yeah, the first index, this would never result something, and the second time also. So probably it doesn't matter. But the first time, this will never result into anything. So you can probably skip it because new page set is always empty. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that this one actually is correct. So how does it? Okay, because let's say the first one isn't in a correct place. You won't know that yet because you haven't processed anything. So the first time it goes through this, it says, okay, this is probably correct, but later on it will be swapped anyway. So where does that happen? Let's see. If it's empty, what does this do actually? Because this tests if it is a collection, right? Of a list in this case, or an I list or I enumerable, I assume. It's building a list, not modifying the original. I could take those numbers in any order, but I'm trying to understand what does this actually do? Because isn't this always true? Because index after is built up here, and this one will return in an empty list. So doesn't this always evaluate to true? I think it's probably me, but I can't understand the code at all. And I don't understand what's happening here. Let's see, int x is I int is after max is after. Okay. Let's see, it's okay. I think I should probably leave it for now. Yeah. Let's see. Those are some nice times though. See, only empty when the new page set doesn't yet have a number covered by the rule in. Yeah, but if I look at this code, and then I'll stop, right? Where was it? No, this is 9 berries. Here. This part. This basically means make a new list of 0 entries, right? Or I don't understand what this is doing. Normally I would say this like basically this reads like that to me, right? So is this equivalent, or am I understanding it incorrectly? Oh, this is a literal value. No. Yeah, I should probably figure out what it does some other time, but I don't understand this part. But yeah, thanks for sharing anyways. Maybe I'll learn something more from it. Let's see, this is what I consider mass speed. That's why I think 10 milliseconds or 100 milliseconds is too long, and for AOC probably indeed good enough. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to game performance, it has to be very optimized, not to cause micro stutters, etc. Let's see, if X after is empty, need an item in the list. Yeah, but the thing to me is like when I read this, is this a literal value that gets added? Because here it also has count, so it makes me think that you create a new list of this size, but that's probably but if these are literal values, then I understand. It just threw me off, like this notation, because you can also use this to indicate a new list. It's a bit confusing because I confused this probably with where course. I have 7 million notepads. I think I already closed it. Like the new with the brackets. Yeah, okay. A list with the element 0 in it. Okay, now then it makes somewhat sense. So this, okay. So that is why I probably dislike the fact that you can declare like list int is angle brackets as a synonym for new list. But then when you put a number in it, it changes its meaning, right? So it becomes unclear because the same thing now has a different meaning. Because when it's an alias for new list, if you put a number inside of it, you dictate how big the capacity of that list is. But here, when you put a number inside of it, it just means, oh, just add an element with that literal value. So that's why I kind of dislike having that angle bracket as a new declaration there, because it adds confusion because it's not the same every time. But that's maybe me being an old man yelling, "Get off my lawn!" Yeah, thanks for sharing it. Anyways, I'm learning new stuff here. So yeah, because that was the issue here. I thought this was like a capacity indicator for creating a new list. So yeah, I think that's it for today. That's all that was shared. Thanks for keeping me company and teaching me new stuff. Smab says it's a collection initializer and it's equivalent to the accolades then 012, yeah, of the new syntax, not the contents of the brackets. Yeah, but if you have the new syntax with the round brackets, you have to follow that with something else after it. So for me, the most logic thing would then be is, and then do it like this. That would be the clearer way for me, because that's also the same way to do string blah is new string. You still have to do the accolades to actually put values in them. So I understand that they want to make things shorter, but it becomes less clear, in my opinion, when you can do list int blah is blah. But if you want to have values in there, you can also do this. And when there's more than one, it's clearer. I can understand, because you can also have that notation, etc. I know, but like to allow this for a new initializer, it's just something I need to wrap my brain around it. So yeah, thanks everybody for joining me, and hopefully see you again tomorrow. Bye bye.